Hey YouTube, this is Gracie and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you guys who have subscribed to my channel and have been keeping up with all of my Disneybounding greeting cards, you will be happy and pleased, I hope, to see that I have gone back to my original card size for you guys today. I promised on my last video that I would do this, and then I'm also continuing on with my mini card series on Mini Mondays. So definitely stay tuned for that. Today's card that you see in front of you, actually I have a couple of them in front of you. They are Disneybounding as Moana. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this particular card today. And if you guys are interested to see how I created this little card, stay tuned for tomorrow's video. That's right, I'm going to be uploading another video tomorrow. So I will be showing you guys how to create this little shaker card. So stay tuned for that. We'll go ahead and put that over to the side because we're going to be focusing on the Disneybounding Moana card here for you guys today. So obviously Moana has this pretty much one outfit throughout most of the movie. In the beginning she does kind of change into a few others, but this is her main outfit that she wears to go to Fiti and restore the heart, etc., etc. So that's kind of what I decided to represent in my card for you guys today. I decided to use most of the red color here, which it almost looks pink on camera, but I promise you it's definitely red. And I did some of the almost like a grass skirt design here, and then I carried through some of the what actually is coconut type material from the leaves, right? If you remember the song. So this is part of her skirt as well as this last piece of ribbon here. Now I used the sentiment "she believed she could, so she did," because I just feel like that's such a strong phrase that is really popular right now, but I just thought it fit so perfectly. And I decided to do it on a really cool banner because it almost looks like a tattoo. And if you've seen the movie at all, in the culture, they all pretty much get tattoos to represent different things throughout their life. So that's kind of what my inspiration was behind this particular banner. And then I also did little beads of pearl, what's this called? Liquid pearls, dimensional white opal. I kind of did that throughout because she ends up wearing her grandmother's necklace that has the heart of Te Fiti in it, and on it has a bunch of pearls. So that's why I chose to do that. Now the inside here, I made it really simple because I figured since the outside has the main sentiment that you could write in the inside whatever you want to the person you're sending it to. So instead I decided to do just a simple extra little banner here, and then on the back side I used my usual G stamp and I did a little design on it as well to kind of tie everything together. So that's my inspiration behind the card. Let me go ahead and show you guys how to make it. Let me move all of these items aside. So now that we are back to the original card size, we're going to want to cut down our first piece of cardstock, in which I used Christmas paper. That's right. Again, you can use Christmas paper for all purposes all year round, so don't be afraid. This is the bundle that I used. It's got a lot of really fun colors and papers and designs. So this is the Fawn, my favorite. And I used the red cardstock that has a little bit of the chevron, I guess is the design that you could see there. And I decided to make it a slightly different version than the original. On the original, it's more of a horizontal line, and on this version, I did more of a vertical line here. So you could also make it an actual vertical card if you wanted to still, you know, change it up a bit. So I wanted to cut this down to my card size, which is 5.5 by 4. And then I'm just going to basically layer on all of the different, you know, pieces. So what you're going to want to do is cut down a piece of light cream or light brown cardstock, and it's going to be 5.5 across because it's going to go all the way across the card, and about 1.5 inches thick. So the next thing you'll want to do is take your scissors, and you can just take you know, simple plain scissors and make your cuts across the, you know, bottom here. But I was lucky enough to have these guys, and they're really cool. They cut out like grass design, or, you know, they just kind of shred up your paper, which is great for our purpose. So all I did was I cut from the bottom, and I ended just before the edge on the left and just before the edge on the top. So I don't know if you could see, I left a little bit here as well because I don't want to mess up the paper too much. And then again, I'm going to leave a little bit here so it has a bit of its own little lip there. And I'm just going to go all the way across the page like so. This is actually a really fun and slightly satisfying task. And if you do it just right, you'll be able to get one more cut in here. Oh, yay, perfect. So there you have it. These two pieces, you're going to want to cut two of them because you're going to overlap them in the center. I'm sorry, not overlap. You're going to place them down the center. And again, like I said, you could make this into a vertical card, but I thought I would change it up and make it a horizontal one. So there we go. And all you're going to want to do is tape that down or glue that down. And in my case, I'm going to use my Scotch Advanced Tape Glider like I always do. And hopefully I get this in shot here. I'm literally just putting the tape glider down the center of the card. Just a couple lines. I'm actually going to do 3 just to make sure it all sticks. And as you can see there, there's a few lines down the center. Now these two pieces pretty much, since they are the same size, you're just going to want to eyeball it and hopefully get it right in the center of your card. There you go. And then kind of follow it along with your finger, because this will need to move a little bit since you've cut the paper. It's going to have like a little bit of a movement there, so that's totally fine. Just going to press that down, and then this side as well. Now it doesn't have to be perfect like I'm trying to make it because you are going to be covering it with the other layers of ribbon, but I'm just kind of particular sometimes, so there you go. So right down the center, and don't worry about messing up the fray. It's kind of the point and purpose of that. So the next piece you're gonna, or at least I did, was I took this cool ribbon just because it reminded me of part of her skirt. Obviously this is a Disneybounding card and it's not going to be exact, so that's why I just kind of was inspired by this ribbon and decided to use it. And then what I'm going to do is I cut it down to the length that I wanted, which is just above and just below the card. Now it does have a curve to it, but we're going to utilize that curve and make it kind of scrunched and kind of fun that way. So before I show you that, on this ribbon here, there is this piece of, you know, sewing that they did, but we're going to go ahead and cut that off so that it's not so chunky down the center of the card. So all you need to do is just take your plain scissors and cut it along that edge to get off that extra piece. So it's going to basically look like this. So let me go ahead and show you how I did that here. Just going to cut it from this part right here. Oh, is that the right piece? Yes, that's the right piece. I want to make sure you get the right layer, and just go ahead and cut all the way down, and you'll still get that curvature in the ribbon, but it just won't be as thick. Now to get that piece on the inside of my card, that extra little banner here, I used the piece here that I originally cut off. You can actually leave the stuff on it, but I just went back through and then cut where this, I don't know what you would call that, some sort of matting or something on there. And basically I just cut all of that off, and that's how I ended up with that extra piece there. So let's put that aside, and let's go ahead and use the tape glider once again. our best friend. And I'm gonna put some down the center of the card. Sorry for hitting the camera. And down the two sides. Hopefully I'm getting that in shot. You can always add a little bit more over some of the fringe, just to make sure it's going to stay. Now, I don't recommend doing liquid glue for this because there's so many holes in this. And if you don't have the right glue that's a non-stick, you know, so that it doesn't dry sticky, you know, it's hard to do. So you're gonna wanna put it down towards the bottom, but have some of this fray still show. So go ahead and show you here. Oh, as my hand gets stuck to it, that's awesome. And then I'm going to also pinch it in places that I feel like pinching it and making it more dimensional there. So I'm going to pinch it again, and then I'm just pressing it against the tape. And I guess it's about every ½ inch or so that I'm doing that, but you do it to however you like it. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. And one more pinch looks like what we're gonna get, and just kind of press everything down. And I've had this happen on my first attempt at the card where this ribbon kind of just flares up, but that's okay. It's no big deal. And then we're gonna do the other side. We'll go ahead and flip that around and also flip the ribbon around. And again, now what I wanted to show you guys is, obviously we don't really want it to crease all in the same places, so I'm gonna actually go opposite for those little pinches, just so that it's not super matchy and it just adds more character to it still. And one last pinch there, and again I'm pinching and pressing against the card so that it will all stick to it still. You're gonna have some excess. You can cut that off or you can leave it. It's up to you. The last piece of ribbon is this one here. Now I don't really know, it's some sort of burlap, but it's, you know, it's different. It's interesting. So I decided to use that. And what we're gonna do with my original card, my very first attempt, I used liquid glue for this and it took forever to dry. So that's another reason I don't recommend it. So I'm just gonna use my tape runner and just go over, and I'm pressing really hard with the tape glider because I want the glue to come off, or the tape to come off, which actually it's not right now. So you can kind of see how that doesn't always work, but I'm trying really hard to make that stick. Oh gosh, it's really not working right now. I swear it worked earlier. Okay, well this one is just kind of running out on me. So instead I'm going to use one that's actually even a little bit stickier, and I'm going to use this, I think this is a Tombow as well, and let's see if that will work. We always learn from our mistakes, right guys? And now this one you want to put down the center only of the card because that's where the ribbon is and it's not really all that thick. So you just want to make sure you're putting as much of that on there as possible. Now, if my mom is watching this video, she may be getting really angry at me for using so much of that tape stuff. So sorry, Mom, because that was hers. So I'm just going to put this one down the center of the card and press firmly. And actually that worked out quite awesomely. So yay, we did it, guys. Good job. All right. So there you go. There is the top of your card. And again, I'm sorry for the camera shaking. Last but not least, you're going to want to cut out your banner. Now for this one, again, I used Christmas stamps. Woohoo, Christmas. So I used this banner here from the Stampin' Up! Collection of banners for Christmas. Now this one I did not have the die cut for, so all I did was stamped out the banner on a piece of darker brown cardstock, and then I just fussy cut it out completely. And I did that in Memento Tuxedo Black, my favorite. And then I just hand wrote in the sentiment. She believed she could, so she did. So this is what I came up with. I just fussy cut all the way around it. I left a little bit of a border so that way it looked like it was die cut. And then from there, I just took some glue tape, or yeah, glue tape, right? Yeah. And I just put it down diagonally across the banner where it meets here. Now that is because I don't want it to completely stick all the way. So you could use pop dots for this, but I'm actually trying to utilize the puffiness of the ribbon itself. So I literally just glued it down in one area. That's up to you, up to your own preferences. And then of course we're going to use our liquid pearls and just do a few little pearl dots here and there. And again, that's to represent her grandmother's necklace that she ends up receiving from her. And we're just going to put just a few little pearls everywhere. And let's see, one more over here. Just really simple. Just want to make it nice and pretty. So there you have it. There is your Disneybounding Moana inspired card. And like I said earlier, if you guys are interested to see how I made this really cool Fiti's heart shaker card, stay tuned for tomorrow's video and I'll show you guys how to make one. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the section down below letting me know if you are really into this and if you're enjoying this, and if you have any Disney character ideas for me. I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!